welcome to podcast, I believe it's now 38.
38 hours.
I have 38 hours.
Wow.
38 hours. We took a little bit of a break last month. We kind of, after the holidays, came back in and went, there hasn't really been a ton of stuff that's happened since our last show. We had a little bit later show in December. We were the last one before the winter break. And then it was like, we were pretty much the first show back after the holidays. We're like, we don't really have anything valuable to say right now.
Really good. Honestly.
The break did feel good. This one kind of snuck up on me. It was like Monday morning, and I was like looking at the calendar. I'm like, well, it's only the 16th, so we still have one more week. And then we did not have one more week. It was
one day.
One day.
How funny is it that January felt like it was about 4 years long, and then all of a sudden it's February, and then it's February right when we're headed on to the show. Came up quick.
It did.
But here we are.
It did, yeah. So since we have been off for a little bit has happened. I know across the country there's been some open qualifying, there's been some masters. Timmins was just last weekend. Congratulations to all the crew out there that put on a fantastic event. Sly Bercier from Quebec ended up taking home his first big on tour win. So congratulations to him. This weekend coming up, we have Manitoba Open. I put on my Manitoba sweatshirt just for the occasion. So good luck to everybody who's going out to Manitoba Open. But yeah, lots of things kind of like percolating as we get into big competition season.
Yeah, we're headed into the really, really hectic time now where every weekend seems to have something else on the go somewhere.
Yeah.
And give or take, there's like a little bit more or less on people's plates as they kind of take on, other things outside of their like personal bowling, but just supporting the bowling community overall, including the youth community. So kudos to all those people who lend a helping hand when it comes to our kids.
Yeah. Our show today is kind of a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a catch up with some amazing women, kind of highlighting some of their memorable moments as players, but also things that they have seen happening around them that were memorable, that other people were doing. Tracy, when we were talking about what we were going to do this month for our show, and with it being February, and you have Valentine's Day, you have Random Acts of Kindness Week, it kind of just met with all of those things when she said, what about for the love of the game, and just people having an opportunity to share a little bit about things that they've seen that help them to continue to love the game.
It's going to be a great show. What's really great about this show is we're going to look back at some of the different highlights and like decades of individuals who have had really high performance and who have been really rooted in the game for a very, very long time. Some of them have been on the show. Some of them are Hall of Famers, and we love that. But the idea is to really just get everyone motivated as they start to think about their provincial events that are starting to happen across the country. Easter weekend is really important, but also have a little bit of fun, like, what brought them into the game, how long they had some longevity in the game, maybe even some personal challenges as they started to age, which is fine. It's all part of it. And also maybe just tell us about like some funny memories or good memories or memorable moments that they've had throughout their tenure in their bowling career. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
For sure. We can bring in our first guest and get it rolling here. So our first guest comes to us all the way from Ontario. Hello, Sandy.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic.
Good. My internet keeps going in and out because we're having a snowstorm. So it may
I feel like that's kind of the common theme right now all across the country.
Yes.
I know we've been snowed in all day here in Newfoundland, and I think Manitoba has a really big storm right now too, don't they?
It just came through Alberta. We got a ton of snow in the last couple of days.
See, we're all in solidarity.
We're all here. We're all here with you.
But thank you so much for joining us tonight, Sandy.
Thanks for having me.
So as we were kind of talking, we were thinking about what were some things from your career, like how did you get into bowling? Kind of give us a little bit of your story.
Well, my parents were avid bowlers. My dad was the president of Ontario for I don't even know how long, many, many, many years. And my dad actually was teaching um, a junior how to bowl with one hand. And I guess I was just playing around on the lanes, and he turned around and I was copying it. And I was 3 years old, so I was bowling with one hand at 3 years old.
Oh
So
my
my dad
goodness.
just said, "Okay, fine, sign her up."
I feel like Sandy and I's story is very closely related.
Yeah.
Both come from strong bowling family backgrounds. My dad was also the president of Alberta for a really good chunk of time. That's how Sandy and I started to know each other. I used to travel with my parents going to master national events. However, Sandy peaked well before I did. She was an absolute rock star on the lanes when I was just um, going into sort of the adult competition. And, you know, when you start to look at that, and we talk about like empowering women and inspiring women, for me, Sandy was one of the first ones outside of maybe the traditional Alberta women, like Bev Gigliak for me was a huge mentor. But Sandy was like another big one who was just unreal on the lanes in those years.
Thanks, Trace.
You're welcome. Both dads
And
were named Tom,
yeah,
right? So yeah, just a lot of relatable things.
yeah. And we both loved our daddies.
We sure did. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, so that I was 3 when I started bowling, and I hate to admit it, that's like 52 years ago.
Mhm. But tell
So,
us about what like drove you, like from 3 years old, like all the way through, and then obviously you had some tremendous, like a tremendous time period where you were very fierce on the lanes. Like, how did you get there?
my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, well, I'd have to say my dad and my mom because, well, that was fire and ice. So my dad was the calm, cool, and he was just back me up no matter what. And um, if I'd missed a corner pin, well, and I knew that week we would be going to do corner pin practice, and that's all we would do is he would make me shoot those corner pins till I could repeat it in my sleep. And then my mom was the other opposite side. She was, well, you didn't do well.
Or
The tough
brutal,
love, tough love.
honestly. That was a better way to say it.
Yeah.
What was the highlight for you in
Um,
your career?
you know what? It was probably winning the Triple Crown. And then my dad got to present me with, like in Ontario, we got a jacket at that point. And my dad got to present me with the jacket. And that was just, it it made me feel like I did him proud.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's pretty special.
Yeah.
That's so special.
And then I think it was like a year and a half later he passed. So that was that final moment that we had together.
That you almost didn't know that right at the time, but it does become super special once you lose somebody shortly after a big moment like that. Or it's almost polar opposite. You don't really get that achievement, and you lose somebody, and then you have like this really high peak. It's almost like they're looking down on you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that was like when I got the call this year that I got inducted into C5 Hall of Fame. It was like so surreal. It was like, oh my God, like I never thought because I was a like I was what I used to be. Like I'm not so much anymore, but I thought I would never get into there. And then it's like, oh, I really wish my dad was here. So,
That
yeah.
I
big
think he
triplet,
is. I think
the
he is here, and I think he's very proud of
100%.
you. Very proud of you. It's a very well earned honor, Sandy, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm all like in my like warm and fuzzy right now.
I know.
We're like, oh boy.
It's like talking about my dad. I know I can't look at Tracy because it'll just
I
cry.
know. It's messy. And it's really messy. Everybody knows that about me as well. It's crazy. But yeah, I remember your dad distinctly, and I remember one Masters Nationals event, and you walked in with your parents down a hallway in a hotel room, and listen, you just have certain things that share, and it was almost like, oh my God, like that's Sandy. For me, that it's crazy, but we all have things like that. We're going to have other people on this podcast tonight that's going to feel exactly the same. And you know, we are getting a little older, Sandy, like, right? And things that we've talked a lot about on this podcast about how things change, and how for some this will come up a little bit, but for me the journey was really long to like peak, but it was my peak, right? So and some people peak different times, different levels, and this game is so challenging to kind of stay at a premium level, and I think that's what brings us back, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. So we'll probably talk a lot about you know, those type of things. Any kind of significant challenges you feel like you've like faced in your career that you would be willing to share?
Well, I had a massive car accident, and I had to come back with like I hurt my body pretty bad. And for some unknown reason, once I got back onto the lanes, I started throwing a curve instead of a backup. And don't ask me how and why.
You're right.
I have no idea why. But my dad used to throw a curve, so we're just playing with it.
Go with it.
Yep. Not
But
as good as I once was, but I can still throw an odd good game.
yeah, but I think, you know, the will to always be good, better, best, I think is always in someone who has strived to be at the very top, which you have been. So what are you loving about the game today?
You know what? It's all about the people. It's all about the friendships that I've met, like all across Canada, and always coming back and always knowing that you've got that friendship. And then always watching all of those people succeed in the sport that we all love. Like, I can't pinpoint moments that I think were great for somebody else, because I love when others succeed. Like, especially watching singles, like that's such a pressure, that's such a stress. And it's that knowing how that person is feeling, and just so proud of them when they win. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But
One question that I had, like Tracy is kind of sharing that when she was littler and like she would go to an event and see you and was like, oh my gosh, that's Sandy. Like, were there people when you would walk into a bowling alley, you kind of had that same like, oh boy, kind of reaction?
yeah, it was Tracy, it was Jen, it was Diane Violini, it was Bev, it was like all of the, and like Sandy Anderson, even though some people think we're the same. It's all of them, and even Karen coming on. It's all of those ladies. It's like you see them and go, oh God, like they're here. Oh, it's like the heart goes, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Yeah. It's funny that a lot of people think that when we ask that question or when they reflect on it, that they're always thinking about like who's that generation above them and like who were the people there. But so often those moments come from your peers and the ones that you are actively competing against and that are kind of that same age group that you see at so many events, and people go, well, like you grew up together or you know each other, you've been at so many events before, like you shouldn't have that maybe necessarily anymore. But like for so many, I think it is the same way that you see who's in that demographic that you're growing up with, and that can elicit the same kind of response or the same kind of reaction as when you go, well, when I was 5 years old or 10 years old and I was watching whoever bowl as an adult, right? I think it can be very, very similar and very powerful, even at your own age level.
When you
Well,
look
you also get to celebrate all of the people that you have
Mhm.
seen grow and go through, similar trials and tribulations that you've gone through, and to be able to celebrate those because you know exactly where they've come from. So, can definitely see how that is very near and dear to your heart for sure.
Yeah, it is.
there's some bowling communities too that just have pockets of more competition.
Mhm.
Just naturally, and that it's always been that way, ebb and flow. But if we talk about like Ontario has had some incredibly rich participation with, I mean, your opens were like no other open across the country, right? But also give a lot of credit for those smaller communities where they are competing at a national level with the areas or communities that are a little bit more rich and are really stepping up their game without having the same pool of maybe participation, if that makes sense. And that is really admirable as well.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Sandy, funny story, memorable story, you're involved, you're not involved. Bowling story.
No, going with the love of the game. You know what? I can honestly say, my favorite story right now is I met the love of my life again after 38 years, and we bowled YBC together. So
Oh, that's so
Aw.
sweet.
it's
Perfect for this
it's the way
podcast.
the love of the love of the game just brings
The
out
literal love.
exactly
The literal love.
exactly.
That's awesome.
That's
I love that.
amazing.
That could be the best accomplishment right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And are
I
you
can't
both
believe
still
we
bowling
did
together?
that.
We are bowling together. Yeah. Oh,
That's so sweet.
she's in the background singing. She still kicks my butt.
She
That's
just
so
knows.
awesome. Where did you guys bowl YBC together?
Well, we didn't. I was in Newmarket and he was in Bradford. And
Okay.
then we came up because our center had closed.
Mhm.
So he was 12 and I was 16. So it was like, yeah, you just don't do that back then. Now it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
But
So
now
cool.
it's, yeah.
I love that.
And why did he
That's
stop
so
bowling?
cool.
Did he stop bowling or he always
He
stayed in the
did. He
game?
bowled like on and off, but never got back into it. And it was a shame because when he was a kid, he was really good.
Mhm.
Yeah, but he's
Love
getting
that.
there now. He's getting back into the game.
Great.
Yeah, that's
What a
perfect.
beautiful thing that we can say that how much we love our game, right? You can play it when you're 3 years old. You can play it when you're 30 years old. You can play it when you're 100 years old. And like
Mhm.
the love is still exactly the same as it was when you were that 3-year-old one-handed bowler, right? Like, what a cool game.
Yeah,
It's a cool game. Yeah.
It
I
is.
love that.
Yeah, you're right.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Sandy, for joining us for a little bit tonight to chat.
Thank-
Hopefully, the blizzard does not overtake you.
It might have just
It
done that.
might. Oh, there she is. There she is. I was like, she froze. She froze. Have a fantastic night and good luck with the rest of the season. And we will see you soon.
You too, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much,
Bye,
Sandy.
Sandy.
And
Thanks,
congratulations
Sandy.
again
Bye.
on your Hall of Fame induction.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.
I love
Sure.
it. We were talking in the background about like the legends of Sandys because there's so many like legendary Sandys. And I hadn't even mentioned like one of my idols growing up was Sandy Wag from BC.
I was just gonna
so
say.
look at all the Sandys.
Yeah. She was good.
Legends.
There's like
And a
hotbed
lovely,
names.
lovely
Sandy's, Tracy's, like all the names that just
Legends.
legends. All right, we are going to move one province over, still in a blizzard, but we're going to bring in our next guest from Manitoba. Hello, Karen.
And still a legend at
There
that.
she is,
Hello.
still a legend.
Hi, everybody. Thanks
Karen,
for having me.
Tell
How are
me
things going
about
there?
what it felt when there was a slogan that said Karen effin Armstrong.
It kind of stuck, didn't it?
It really did.
Well, I actually give Mike Tweedy a big nod for that because I think he was one of the guys that came up with it. Like I'm pretty sure he was, the one that came up with it. But yeah, it stuck. It was something else.
It's awesome, is what it is.
KFA forever.
And it's funny because if in my Netflix account I put KFA and my husband just gives me the look like, really?
And you just say, yeah, I am.
I feel like that's allowed because you can literally say KFA in almost any bowling alley and they know exactly who you're talking about.
100%.
I guess that's an age thing too.
That's legendary, is what that is.
So tell us a little bit about what got you started in this game that you love.
Well, much like Sandy, my parents didn't own a bowling alley, but I was the little kid running around in the background while her brother and sister bowled and and my parents bowled. And then I started when I was 5 years old. Started at the Village Inn in Winnipeg, and my last 2 years I ended up going to Rossmere because all my friends from the Village Inn left me and opened their own bowling alley type of thing. But yeah, my family was all into bowling, so it was just sort of a natural thing for me to get into. I really wanted to go to university and play volleyball, but I never got to the height I wanted to get to. So
you don't
I feel
need
like
a
we're
height
so the same,
requirement in
Karen.
bowling.
I did the same thing. Volleyball was number one, but 5'7" just not enough.
Yeah, 5'4" is not enough either. So, and they kept wanting me to set in high school. I'm like, no, I don't want to set. I want to hit the ball. But yeah,
So funny.
yeah.
Selfishly, I'm kind of glad that volleyball didn't work out because I'm really glad that we have you at bowling.
Yes.
Well, now I'm involved in even more than before. So I'm on boards now and everything. So
Tell us about your
And now that-
journey, like all through YBC and obviously your peak era. We really want to know a little bit more about your peak era.
Well, YBC, like I said, bowled at Village Inn, finished that at Rossmere. Never made it to nationals till 1980 and 1981 as a junior girls team. We made it back-to-back years. I did win a bronze medal on our second time there, I believe. Our team got billeted all together, which was fantastic. All 5 of us girls in the same house was really good. And just because you don't know the people you're staying with, but at least you knew everybody you're with.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Rossmere in 1985, I bowled with Deanna Barber and we made nationals and we won gold there. So I was lead off and Deanna Barber was our anchor and Joff McMullen was our coach at the time. And then as I became an adult, I tried the Open a couple times, but never really got into it. So I just still bowled league and I was playing ladies volleyball and doing other things. And finally at about 1992, I said, okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to really try now. So in league, I was really made sure I practiced hard and worked on everything. And my first year of competing as an adult, I don't count the couple years after YBC because I didn't really do anything there. But I made the Open, TSN, and National Classified that first year I started trying. So that was pretty fantastic to make it there. And we ended up taking a bus 27 hours to Sudbury from Winnipeg, and they never did that again.
27 hours.
Yeah, they never did that again. Then the next year I had a baby, so I didn't get to play again. And I was on the mixed team in 1992, and we won silver there. And that was back in the years, we finished first after the round robin, but you only had to be beat once back then. Right. Now you have to be beaten twice. So we lost our first match and ended up with the silver medal. And then our ladies team in Winnipeg, I think we ended up bronze, but I can't remember. But that's where I met my best friend, Carrie Thiebert. She was with me on the mixed team in 1992. She didn't make it in 93. We both made the ladies team in 94. So we were rookies together on both teams. And ever since then, we've been pretty much best friends.
I love that.
I love that.
Yeah. And,
so many things that the game brings, right? Like how many people are like, I met my partner, I met my best friend, like I met my people.
My husband asked me, how did you not end up with a bowler?
Magic.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a baseball player. It's close
Yeah.
enough. It's close
But
enough.
I think I have a few things, like I jotted down just a couple things that really stick out for me. Of course, my C5 induction, that's really special to me. In 2009, my only open singles title, I had 4 silvers before I finally won a gold. And that was the 100th anniversary of bowling. So that was a fantastic year to win that one.
Mhm.
I actually managed to win a cash tournament as well. The Manitoba Open, I won that one year, the year after Sandy Anderson won it. And my latest thing that I'm super, super proud of was our Masters Gold in Newfoundland when we won our first 14 matches straight.
Yeah.
And we went to a practice. We finally, all us girls were at a practice. Sandy was our coach. And I was just standing there and we're practicing and I'm just looking and I just got this feeling came over top of me and I'm like, I think we have something special here, girls. And I had never said that before in my entire career.
Yeah.
But I said, I think we have something special here. And I never thought about it again. We never said it again. And then we went to Newfoundland. And then after we were like, yeah, we were right. We had something special there. You know, I've had lots of really, really good teams over the years. Don't get me wrong. And I love playing with every team I've ever played on. But I just had a feeling that was something special. And I was right.
Yeah.
It was something
I think
special.
everybody at that nationals could see, like, I remember playing against that team and it was something else. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't matter if you guys had an early lead, if you were coming from behind, you just had a way of getting behind each other and digging together and
Yeah.
carrying
I
out.
heard
It was really cool to watch.
I heard that people in the other alley houses were saying, "Oh my God, they won again!
Did they win
And
again?
that, did they win again? Did they win again?" Yeah, and to have that gold medal solidified before you go into the last 3 games of the tournament was fantastic too. So to keep ourselves motivated, of course, because we still want to be great, right? We were trying to break records.
Yeah,
and I don't think we got to the ones we wanted to get to, but that's okay. Because we lost our last match. If we would have won that last match, we would have probably broke a couple more records, but we didn't.
Well, the fact that that was a goal that you wanted to break records, not a lot of teams think that way.
Yeah, well, we already had
That's
gold,
really
so
cool.
let's go get some records now.
Totally.
Yeah.
for sure.
And nowadays, too, I'm the president of the Winnipeg 5-Pin Association, and I'm also on the Manitoba 5-Pin board. We're recently just getting back into the sport federation, so I'm sitting in on some meetings there and stuff like that. I haven't been there yet, but I'm part of that as well. So super busy, keeping a little too busy sometimes. I get a little overwhelmed sometimes with everything I have going on. We have one of our big fundraising social coming up next Saturday, not this Saturday. Of course, Manitoba opens this weekend. But the Saturday after is our big fundraising social for the Winnipeg 5-Pin. So that's on the forefront for me right now, just working on getting that settled. And we're working together with our Master Bowlers Association this year. Normally it's just been the Winnipeg 5-Pin, but we decided to work together and see if we could get a little more attendance at the social, and then we just split the
that was a
profits
nice
because
little
we both need
plug,
to help.
too.
Yeah.
Nice. A timely plug, Karen. Good job.
Wasn't that good?
Yes.
Yeah. But that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I do have some
about-
love I want to send out before I take off too. I have a few things of love I want to hand
Yeah,
out
of
for
course.
Yeah.
I still
For
want
We
the
to
love
love
of
it.
it.
Love of the game.
still want to
Send
talk
all
about
the
you a little bit.
Sure.
The longevity that you've had in the game, if you think about like as a young child, we're talking decades now. You're still
Yeah.
competing. You just have made a major team to kind of advance to nationals, I believe. And like good for you, because I saw the first round and it didn't look easy. Let's just say you must be so proud of how you showed up on the Sunday.
That's the one thing, right? Because I have that experience behind me, I know, and you all know, of course, just because you have one bad day doesn't mean you're going to be bad the next day. It's a whole new day.
Yeah.
So you change where you went for breakfast, you change your shirt, you change your underwear, you change your pants, you change everything you can. I did so much wrong on that first day. I was watching scores. I'm like, I don't watch scores. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
So I gave myself a little talking to, gave myself a little time to be mad about it, got over it, walked in, said, okay, let's go. Let's just do my own thing. I pulled out a ball, my purple speckled Starlines that I haven't thrown in over 10 years. and pulled. I can't throw one of them because if it hits anything, it's going to explode. But the other one is still in good enough shape. I threw that ball all day, and my low game was 242. So
Love
that
it.
ball is now
Yeah,
in my
you
bag
absolutely
permanently.
tore it up
Yeah,
that day.
it's
We
a
love
good
that
spot.
for you.
Seriously, and it's funny because I find when I'm coming back to the game, because obviously I was off for a while with my knee replacement,
Mhm.
and when I came back, I found I had a little more curve in my ball, and I attribute that to not being as strong as I was. You know, I'm 58, almost 59 years old now. I'm not as strong as I used to be. My legs aren't as strong. My whole body's not as strong. The only thing that's super strong on me now is my left knee. It's fantastic.
It's holding down the
But-
fort.
Yeah. So, but I ended up throwing at my old spot and throwing the way I used to, and with that purple ball, and it just worked.
I love
Did
that.
you
I'm like,
find
okay.
because you've had a lot of like obviously challenges, physical challenges that you've had to
Mhm.
overcome, and obviously the
Mhm.
surgery and getting your knee replaced was massive for
Massive.
you, right? But on that Sunday when you made all of those changes, a little bit of that old DNA, tenacious Karen, fierce Karen came out. Did you feel like your mind was exactly the same as it used to be? Because that's what we all strive for, right? That
Absolutely.
moment where we're just
Yep.
in 100% control.
Absolutely. As you get older, it's way harder to stay focused, to
Yeah.
keep your mind sharp and keep it focused on what you're doing. And that Sunday, it came around. I wasn't thinking the same things I was. I picked a whole new thing to think about up on the lane. And it's just make sure you're solid at the line and finish that and use your follow through.
Mhm.
And yeah, it just worked.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was super happy. I was sitting 12th, I think, after the first day. High game of 230, and then the second day, my low game was 242.
Complete
Yeah,
opposite.
you lit it up.
Yeah, it's crazy. But hey,
Well,
yeah.
like I said, I had the experience to know that tomorrow is a new day.
Yeah.
Even if you're at a national event and you have a very bad first day, tomorrow is a new day. Always remember that, everybody. Always remember.
Everyone take note. KFA
Take-
just told you.
That is
Absolutely.
That is a good
Absolutely.
message.
Tomorrow is a new day. You can't be great all the time,
Literally.
Fair.
right?
And give yourself grace, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Give yourself grace. Give yourself that moment. Like you said,
Yeah.
give yourself that moment to like feel the frustration, let it exist, and then move on.
Exactly.
Tomorrow's a new day. The next ball's a new ball.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even when it comes from ball to ball or frame to frame, if you have a bad frame, you can't stay mad, obviously, but you give yourself 30 seconds and then you got to let it go because you got to get up there and do it again. And you can't have that attitude in you when you're getting up on the lane.
Yeah.
So,
Well, for a legend like you, for decades of dominance, everyone, I mean it, take note right now. This is the moment you're learning.
right?
So Karen,
Yeah.
go and give the people that you want to give lots of love to. It's your
All right.
platform.
Yeah. My bowling love. I have three things here. It's ones I could come up with. First of all, I'm giving my bowling love to Sandy Anderson, my anchor love of all those years that we were so dominant and we were so well. Well, she was my anchor bowler. And that girl won us more matches and did more things for us than anybody ever. She was the best female anchor bowler I've ever seen in my life. And I give her tons of love for that.
Well
Thank you
deserved.
for all that, Sandy. And then I have to give some more bowling love to my buddy Jeff Bourne when he finally won his Masters singles title. And I believe, was that not Newfoundland as well?
I think so.
I think it might have been.
I think it might have been.
It might have been Sudbury.
I don't know.
Okay, I can't remember, but anyways, I just give him all the love for finally winning his Masters singles title after having a chance at so many times. And to my middle son, Cole Melvin, where I got to watch him when he was 8 years old, win his Bantam Boys gold medal in Sudbury. And he's now 28. He does not bowl anymore, unfortunately, because volleyball and basketball in school took over on the Saturday mornings. So he didn't continue with it, but I loved sitting there watching my child excel. And he
Proud
bowled his
mama
first
moment.
600 triple at 8 years old against BC.
And
And now he doesn't bowl anymore.
Wild.
Isn't it so sad?
He might return to bowling one day,
I don't know.
right?
I try.
Under day.
Oh, Thunder Bay. There you go.
Thunder Bay.
And that's my bowling love things.
I love that.
Thank you for sharing.
Well, I want
Well-
to give my bowling love to you, Karen,
Oh.
because you're such an idol to me, and I am so
Yeah.
honored to be able to spend this evening tonight celebrating you and your illustrious career.
Oh, thank you, Megan. Thank you. Are you
You're
guys all
the
going to be in Calgary,
No,
Diamond Ladies? Oh, Megan's not going to be there. Ah, I figured you two
Newfoundland's
would be
far,
there.
guys.
I'll be there.
I guess so.
Yeah, Newfoundland's
You're
a pretty
allowed.
far flight.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Well,
right.
on that note, looking forward to seeing you in Calgary, and
Yes.
good luck with the rest of the season. And
Thank you.
hopefully we will see you soon.
Yes. See you in Calgary and hopefully Newfoundland as well.
Hopefully.
Yes, I'll be here at least.
Every
Megan
time
will
I
be
leave,
there. Megan will be there.
every time I leave Newfoundland, I'm like, I hope I'm still competing when they have another national here. It's my
No,
most favorite
so
place to go.
amazing.
I love
True.
it the best.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
thanks so much, Karen, for joining us
Great.
tonight, and we will talk to you soon.
All right. Take care. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Karen.
Right.
All right.
The
I love that
best.
she had it all like ready to go.
It's
I have
great.
These shout outs. I
The
need to
shout outs, the
Yeah.
seating of the social event.
get. She was prepared.
It's
That's
very
a
Well,
board
if you think
president
about
right
like
there.
the career
Yeah.
that she's had and everything that she's been involved in, we could do 38 episodes just on Karen.
100%.
So
100% we could.
15 minutes, they got to be ready. They got to be
Yeah.
ready to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's super great.
All right. We are going to bring in our next guest from Saskatchewan. Another Tracy in the house.
There she
Hi,
is.
Tracy.
How's it
Hi,
going?
ladies. It's going to be very hard to follow those two ladies.
Oh my gosh.
Listen,
Yes.
you are in that elite, legendary group, Trace. As humble as you are,
Mm-hmm.
you are that person for a lot of people across the country.
Well, thanks. It's the roles have definitely changed for me over the years, and not throwing the ball like I used to, but trying to still be a part of the sport and give back to the community and the youth, especially.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Also very important, right? In the journey.
that's it.
And so when we talk about you, how did you get started in the game, Trace?
It was just an activity that kind of offset playing ball in the summertime. So we got involved in some Saturday morning bowling, and it was just a fun activity when you're 7, 8. And then it started to get a little more competitive and in the teens. And then there was a little bit of cash involved in the YBC senior years and, a few provincial events, but never did get to a nationals. Only got to nationals when I was in, I think it was 92 for masters. And I played on my first team there. And then I got a taste of singles, and that was kind of fun, but I never did get a gold medal. Played in a few finals, got beat by some amazing competitors. 98 in Calgary stands out to me, and Diane Violini beat me in the final. And I look over, and Len's playing in the final beside me, and he's playing the Alberta single there, and he ends up winning his match. And then I end up losing, and it was kind of like, oh, that was close to being very memorable. But still, one of those things that you look back and say, just to be a part of it was pretty special. And then you just keep moving forward, and what else can I play in? Oh, let's try and make a cut in a cash tournament. Let's, and we had kids when we were young, so we had to work around that. And television came to be a part of it, and those were pretty iconic years to be able to say you were part of both the TSN and the CBC. I was really, really proud to be able to show up and, beat the men to get onto CBC. And, 1 year it was my brother-in-law, which was kind of fun. And I look back really fondly on decades ago of being a strong competitor, and then just trying a little bit of coaching and watching my kids grow up and give it a go. And a lot has gone on. And then just to be a part of our little community here and try to give back. And I think we're on our 30 years as a little YBC program. So just,
Wow.
trying to give back.
So the nice thing about our sport is that there's always like something more, right? You make teams and then you're looking for a gold medal on a team, and then you make singles, and then it's like, well, maybe there's a cash tournament I could win. Maybe there's a TV appearance I could do. Like there's always something more to kind of keep driving you and motivating you. I feel like it's never quite 100% done.
And how wonderful now just to see the WCDT and to see the pro leagues and the opportunities for the youth. You know, we just had our winter games here this weekend in Meadow Lake, and you know, yeah, just to see those opportunities too for the youth, and then the streaming so they can actually watch their adults bowl and compete and look up to them too.
Yeah. And even bringing the streaming into like Youth Challenge Nationals so that they have that ability to see their peers and start to kind of develop those mindsets as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, being, I haven't been to the youth bowling school in a few years, but just having that to look forward to every summer, and, you know, talking with Tom, and then, yeah, just meeting so many youth that were pumped and eager to listen to you, and, you know, a different setting than the classroom at school. And
they want to be there instead of have to be there.
They're eager to learn. They want to hear what you have to say. And yeah, just so many youth that I was able to work with through the bowling school.
Isn't that something that's like so fulfilling about this game? Is like you can get so much joy from it as a competitor, regardless of your skill level. If you're competing, you get to have so much joy. But when you start giving back to the community, whether it be through coaching, whether it be through involvement, like things like the Saskatchewan Bowling School, like the joy that I know I can only speak for myself, but being involved in the MBT summer school, it's probably my favorite time of the year, because I can see the excitement on like the kids' faces and be like, this is what I want to be able to share with you. And to have them actually want to listen is like the best thing that you can ask for.
For sure. Yeah. One summer I had Tyler Titgett in my group, and then we ended up having a bowler from each of the 4 Western provinces. And I had to just stop myself and think, this is kind of special. Like I'm working with 4 individuals that were very high achievers. And yeah, and we learned a lot those 4 days, and it was just a lot of fun. And then seeing your kids go through the program, and now I've got grandchildren. So I've got 2 little granddaughters that bowl, and that makes it pretty special too.
That's Tracy, awesome. Because you're so closely connected with the youth now, the platforms are so different today. The last decade specifically, the streaming, you know, the broadening of the associate. What do you think the kids are learning because they have the capability to see to utilize the different platforms? And how do you think that's benefiting them?
Well, I definitely think that the ones that are striving for that competitiveness, that the avenues are there. I can comment just where we are. I'm just trying to bring, you know, joy to some kids that maybe never have tried the game. And for us, it's more recreational here. And then we have a few that love the competition. So try to give them opportunities to go into experience the tournament mode. But I think just for most of them, it's just to show up after school and put your shoes on, throw some good shots, and leave feeling good about the game, you know, and knowing that they have some joy in it.
Which is beautiful, right? The bowling never leaves your house, I bet, right? Like you're a bowling family.
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of it's a little bit on pause right now, but yeah, Akira's done some amazing things that we're really proud of too. And but now it's like volleyball has kind of taken over, and we're supporting her in that journey. And you know, she'll always have the chance to throw. And you know, I'm sure Len will get back into the tournament mode too sometime soon. And yeah, I mean, it's always there. Yeah.
Will we ever see Tracy Anseth at the top of her game in the future?
I can't say that's going to be a possibility.
Let's go.
My granddaughter asked me to bowl in the family twosome, and I just like, oh, my girl, okay, I guess I will. And it was 2 games, and it was like, yeah, that was enough. But they were just so excited that Grandpa and Grandma were bowling with them. So, that was fun.
And that's all about it, the memories, right?
Mhm.
Those are the things that you remember, not even so much the accomplishments here and there. It's all the memories that come with the game, being involved in the community, seeing the people you love. Are there any memorable moments that really stand out for you in your bowling history, whether it be for you personally, for watching somebody else that you love?
Yeah, it's like I said, the television shows were pretty fantastic, but I think because it was more recent, just being able to watch Akira, like she just played amazing at nationals, and we never got to nationals, Len and I, as YBC kids. So seeing your kid in that position and just the determination and the concentration, and she ended up doing really well 2 years in a row defending her national title. And then seeing her make some cuts in the WCBT and, play amazing people like you, Katie, it was fun. It's fun to watch your kid, thrive in that when you loved it so much.
And to thrive at any age, let alone the age that Akira is. I'm going to have to give it up sooner rather than later.
Pretty fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was 14 when I played her. Like she was young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But to
It was
have that
really
mindset so young, I mean, obviously comes from maybe a little bit of our DNA, a little bit of what you're teaching your child. Len is very
there you
as well, right?
Oh, Len.
So yeah, crazy formula.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah.
We'd love that for you. We'd love to see
Retirement
it.
is around the corner for me for teaching. So I've reached the
Right.
30 year,
Wow.
and yeah, we don't know what's going to happen next. You never know.
That's also an impressive task.
let me tell
Speaking
you.
as a fellow teacher, 30 years, I'm sitting there going, I don't know if I got 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on 30 years of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah.
And who knows what's next?
That's right.
Could be more coaching, could be your comeback to the sport.
Come win Diamond
have-
Lady Classic.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish Stacy and you guys all the best. That's such a great tournament for the women.
It really is. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight and
Well,
kind of
thanks for
sharing
the
a little
invite.
bit.
I didn't expect that invite, so thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Yeah.
No,
We're so
we are so
honored
happy
that
to
you
have
came. Yeah. And hopefully we will see you around some lanes fairly soon.
Sounds good.
Take care, Tracy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
Tracy.
Trace.
I don't think
Legend
Another-
all around.
Another lovely
I don't even know
human.
where to
Wow.
look.
Yes, I know.
she's not done yet. Retirement, she's going to get bored and she's just going to start playing 75 games of bowling a week and she'll be winning national championships. That's my
Wow.
prediction. That's my
What a
prediction.
Again,
style.
one of the things that I love so much about this game, right? That is 100%
A possibility. Yeah.
100% feasible.
Retirement does strange things to people. You never know.
I love
All right. We can move all the way back east and bring in our next guest here. One of our favorites on the show. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, friends.
How are you?
I'm snowed in and sick, so much like Megan, just on kind of the other end of
Wow.
town.
It's just everyone.
Yeah, but
and
there's a lot of
Sandy
sickness,
wasn't feeling well. She was
a
snowed
lot of
in.
snow.
Like, yeah.
Much
Just a
snow.
lot, much snow. Well, thank you for joining us. I know it's late there and not feeling well, but thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you start telling us just a little bit of like where you got into the game? I think you had a pretty early start as well.
Yeah, I started bowling when I was 5. My parents used to bowl 10-pin. My dad was in the Navy, so on the naval base that he was stationed at here, they used to bowl. So then kind of one day they were driving by, saw a sign at Plaza Bowl saying, youth bowling. So they put my brother in it. I wasn't old enough at the time, or kind of so we thought. So the famous story is I used to go every week and I would sit, and I was learning to tie my shoes at the time. So I used to just sit there watching my brother bowl, practicing tying my shoelaces. So then one day, one of the other coaches looked at mom and dad and they're like, she could, she can be in bowling too. So finally I kind of signed up, and yeah, that was when I was 5, so 40 years ago now.
A long time, hey?
The journey is long.
The journey is long.
The journey
The
is
amount of
long.
times Melissa quotes that, Tracy. The
It's
amount of
legit. I
times.
wrote an article about it.
It's true.
Oh, with your
Wow.
podcast shirt. Those are
Love it.
vintage right there.
Yeah.
Mine melted in the dryer.
I was going to
So
say,
Mine
I feel
melted
like
in
I
there.
need a new one.
it's not good enough to wear as its own shirt. I do sleep in it, which I will be doing this evening. But you can't. It's kind of like almost see through now. It's very.
I
I
need
think
a
you
new
got
one.
one of the ones that I made. Like they weren't professionally done. I think I just got iron-on patches and printed them at the school, and then was like, "These will do."
Yeah, it's not great. I'm not gonna lie.
So we might need to get like a new version with like the updated version.
You know why the I guess the sentence "the journey is long" is so relatable is like Melissa, for you were always sort of striving for the aha moment. You were in the sport, you were very present in the sport, everybody knew who you were. You and I have talked a lot over the years, but talk to us about your first gold medal and what that meant.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of, the journey is long applied, I suppose, in I think basically, the 3 big categories for me when I started watching bowling is kind of YBC Masters Open, right? Youth Challenge wasn't even really a thing back then. So I started bowling when I was 5, first nationals at 8, managed to win a YBC gold in 1995. So that one didn't take so long, and Newfoundland had always done very well in YBC. So, it somewhat maybe becomes a bit of an expectation. Jumping ahead to, I kind of think the one that most speaks to the journey is long, is the Masters gold medal that the Newfoundland tournament women won in 2017. At the time, the Newfoundland tournament women had not won a medal in 40 years, 1977. And as Tracy would know, because we played against each other many of those years, I think the first year I was on a Masters team, so we played 21 games, 8-point format. The first year I was on a Masters team, in 21 games, we won 21 points. We won 2 pinfalls, right? There was another year we probably won 25 points, last year after year after year. But we believed, that, stick with it and, could come together someday. So just kind of speaking of bowling love, much love always to my good friend Tracy, but just kind of the way the world works, that when we won that Masters gold medal, it actually came down to the final game because the Masters doesn't have a stepladder, but it came down to the final game. We were in first, Alberta was in second. So, bowling against Alberta I think we needed 3 points. It's kind of that surreal moment of like Alberta women in the Masters. I mean, I believe probably them or Ontario has the most gold medals overall. To have that moment be like, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and have that moment to have kind of that opportunity was really neat. And I will never forget what Tracy said to me right when we won. She hugged me and she said, obviously, doesn't matter, if you've won it once or twice or 3 times, whatever, you always want to win. But she said, I'm so glad in this instance that me not winning means that you got to win. So it was like, just such a classy thing, right? To stay in that moment. And then that was kind of overwhelming to win that. And then the next year, I was very fortunate to be part of a fantastic Newfoundland Open women's team, which won gold. And that was the first Open gold for Newfoundland women. And again, kind of a very cool gold medal match, bowling against one of my very good friends from here, Cynthia Woods, now Wheeland. And also with Connie Ward on the team. I mean, again, another legend, right? Thinking back to YBC, back of the book, Connie Ward. So, I mean, took me, 15 years probably bowling the Masters to win. And a lot of last places along the way, and the Open probably about 20 years. So the journey is long is something Tracy and I often say, but for me, it definitely has been very true.
I think when we think about, like, listen, you and I have been through a lot together over the decades, but when I think about that first gold medal, which I was very present for, and I will tell you, I didn't love putting my shoes on at the end of the day, knowing we lost a gold medal, right? But along the journey, Melissa, you celebrated with Team Alberta through every single gold medal that we had at Masters. And that's what you think about, like, friendship. Friendship takes over first every single time, especially when you have a bond in a relationship like you have with many people across the country, not just you and I. So that moment was pretty fantastic to watch when you look at how hard somebody's been striving to be at their best, to be recognized as their best, to accomplish something at their best. And I was very proud to have that moment for you and with you.
We've had some other good moments, Tracy. Is it time to break them out? Is it time to break them out?
You can break them out.
Maybe we'll get to them later.
All right. The platform is yours.
What do you want? I got stories. What stories do you want?
Maybe
Whatever ones you want to share, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just on a more serious point of bowling, I mean, obviously, like I said, I've had the opportunity to win some national golds and a bunch of national medals with fantastic teammates and stuff along the way. I think for me, it's kind of, again, the journey is long. You know, you get to a point a few years ago and it's kind of like, am I going to stick with this? What am I going to do? You know what I mean? So I really put some new energy into my game and into some things and changed some things. And I've spoken before about working with Desiree Ticket. And it's kind of like, you know, a revitalization of my game, right? So I've, in the past few years, been able to have a few individual achievements as well, which is pretty nice. I've always considered myself sort of a team, you know, a team player. I've kind of built a career, you know, in the team game versus the singles game. So it's been nice to kind of have that. I mean, then over the years, of course, so many wonderful, like, family memories. My family's super involved in bowling, not just as, like, big fans, but I mean, my mom bowled Masters many years, won 2 singles medals at the Masters for teaching. My dad,
Fun fact, went undefeated at the Masters, had to drop out the last day or the last half of the tournament.
Yeah.
She didn't bowl.
yeah,
So she didn't even compete and she still won a bronze medal.
yeah, she wins 13-0 the first 2 days. I'll never forget, Brad Glynn looked at me. The only way Nelly doesn't win gold is if she doesn't finish the tournament. Thanks, Brad. You know, my dad has coached me at the Open Nationals and the Masters Nationals. There was another year, myself, my dad, and my brother were all competing or coaching at the same nationals, and mom was there. And just a couple of years ago, my brother came back competitively. So we got to bowl at the nationals together in Winnipeg, and he won a medal. And that was just, like, awesome seeing it through, seeing that whole national experience through his eyes. But I mean, being around a long time, I guess you have the fortune of getting to see a lot of good things happen to good people. I've been fortunate to be around for a pile of Newfoundland singles medals at the national level, Newfoundland teams winning at the national level, you know, good friends winning at the national level. You know, there's all that. But I mean, in terms of the love, obviously there's, like, the game on the lanes, but I mean, the real love I think we all have is the people, right? I mean, how lucky are we all to have, you know, friends from coast to coast. You know, you can pick up the phone, drop of a hat. I had to do that a few weeks ago. I had something unexpected come up. I called someone. I was like, hey, need a place to stay? And they're like, yep, come stay however long you need to come back, whatever. Just to think that our sport gave us those kind of connections is, like, wild. And, like, Tracy, when you say decades, right? Like, when I think back, I'm like, Jesus, yeah, it is decades, right? I mean, I think it was the early 2000s probably when we when we first met, right? And the thing that I like is just bowling probably brought, bowling brought people into our lives, but for me it's not the bowling that keeps them there. It's the people, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, bowling brought me a best friend from across the country.
Mhm.
I think it's so nice. Like you said, I've got to see so many great things happen to so many great people. And like what you said about, the bowling has brought us together. And it's such a nice thing that like we're on the lane together. Half the time we're competing against each other. But like when Tracy brought up this idea of what are some things like for the love of the game, and I started thinking about some of mine. Like one of mine that came up was, you and I have never had an opportunity to play together on a team with each other because we live in different places, but we've had an opportunity to be at so many of the same events. And like one thing that stood out for me was I had a front row seat at Club Tour that year, that there was the little 3-pin on like the last frame that just kind of derailed what was like an absolutely fantastic set. But then, and like feeling like there was a group of us there was 5 of us there, and like the whole group was just like gutted for you, even though we were all competing against each other, like trying to get a spot in the cut. And then getting the flip side of it, the opportunity to be in Calgary with you when you had like an absolute monster weekend at Autumn Open, and getting to be there and celebrate those successes, even though it wasn't my greatest tournament, like I didn't make the cut, but like being able to say like, I'm so proud of you. And like, those are moments that stood out for me when I was thinking about it. I'm like, the journey for you has been long. And like, I think you and I connect in so many ways in thinking like the team side of it. We're both like very much that team player, and like trying to break into some of those individual successes. And so seeing you do it, I'm like, this is perfect for the team players. Like, look at her go. And just like this many years later, still crushing goals and still breaking into new territory and doing all these things. Right. It's just,
yeah.
interesting.
I mean, again, I always think of myself as a team player and a grinder, but in the past few years to be able to have some of those moments, almost making a cut. I've probably thrown some of my highest league averages the past couple of years. Made the All-Star team at the Open last year. Like, it kind of brings me back to, another love story, but like Tracy, for example, winning Masters singles at such, so far into her career. That's kind of one of my favorite memories that I think of like watching someone, even though I wasn't there. It's kind of that day stands out so well in my mind because I was actually in Ontario at Lindsay Laporte's house watching on the big screen, and Tracy and I had the opportunity to text a little bit that morning. We had like a really nice conversation. I just remember being there in the house by myself, screaming at the TV, like, completely going insane. And then sitting there as I do, having my little cry when Tracy won. Right. And at the end of the day, like it's all the love, really, I think.
You just helped quite a bit actually in the pre-game preparation that morning, which was really important for me. Also, think that when we talk about preparation and the mental reset sometimes that we need to have, I've definitely gone through it over my decades of being part of competitive bowling. But Melissa, you have too, and just the commitment that you have taken to reset your game and the commitment. And I want to talk a little bit about the people that you leaned on to support you in that journey, because why I want to talk about it is so important. Like, we don't have to do this alone. We've got a network and a community around us. For you, it's many people. It's Megan, it's Desiree. It was the recommitment to the game that you said, either I'm going to invest in myself because I want to be better selfishly. We should all be doing that. That you leaned in for support and help. And that's what got you to where you got the last couple of years. And you should be really, really proud of that.
Yeah, thanks. Like I remember very distinctly a few years ago, I had bowled some particular tournament and not done as well, my contribution to the team as I would have liked. And I remember Mom kind of looking at me and, saying to me, you're not getting any younger, and there's a lot of young talent around, and there's still a lot of, you know, veterans around. She's like, you know, how do you feel about it? And I remember kind of saying, I either need to be all in or out kind of thing, because I don't generally do anything halfway. And I sat down and I kind of said, what does that look like? And, you know, in the past few years, there's been a lot of time and effort and money. And fortunately, I've been able to do that and go to tournaments and whatever. But, you know, it's a grind. It's a grind physically and mentally, and you can't always do it all the time. But it is pretty satisfying when you do it, and it does kind of pay off. And like I've always said to people, like, think outside the box, right? Have a conversation, pick somebody's brain, message somebody, ask them a question, ask them if they can help. With the way technology is and stuff now, a lot of stuff is a lot easier than it used to be, right? I reached out to Desiree before she was even kind of doing her virtual stuff and whatever. I had just kind of, you know, seen her in action at a few tournaments, obviously knowing the reputation of her brothers. And I was kind of like, just wanting something different, like a different perspective. No disrespect at all to anybody here in Newfoundland, but I was like, this is someone, like, just a different angle, a different way of doing things. Kind of, you know, someone in your corner that's kind of like your person, right? Not just whoever happens to be coaching you once you make a team, but like throughout the season, right? Throughout the off season. So, like, you know, don't be afraid to think outside the box kind of thing, right? Take a chance, and sometimes it works out.
Love it. Any memorable stories? What's your most memorable
How long
story?
do you have, Trace?
I know she's got a few. I know.
We could tell a couple. I think one of my favorite stories, and this is love because I do love this person, and it's kind of like love to our sport, I think, Jennifer Marshall. So I think I first met Jen in 1995. The Nationals were here, and she was billeted with one of my teammates. So we've been friends going on, 30 years here now. And, you know, Jen's a different character. She would admit that herself. But I think it was 2005. I happened to be in town in Calgary for work, and it was the weekend of the Autumn Open. Where did the Autumn Open used to be?
Either at Chinook or
was it ever a Toppler?
Toppler.
Oh, like a Toppler when it looked old. Anyway, so I dropped down to see everybody on, like, it was like the Friday night or Saturday night or something. Anyway, Jen's like, I'm going to take you out for drinks. And I was like, oh God, where's this going? So anyway, we get to this bar, and this, you know, this guy's, you know, chatting Jen or whatever. And he asks her what she does for a living. And Jen tells him that she's a professional bowler. So Buddy starts to laugh, right? And he's like, no, seriously, what do you do? And Jen starts doing, like, you know, the action of bowling and going through the bar. And he looks at me, he goes, is this woman actually a professional bowler? I'm like, yes. He goes, if someone can prove to me that this woman is a professional bowler, he's like, I will buy your drinks and I'll give you guys $100 to go out for dinner. He said, because I feel like this is the biggest, like, joke, and when I leave here tonight, he goes, you guys are going to sit around and joke at me. And Jen keeps doing the thing and doing the bowling demonstration. He's like, I'm not sold. And all of a sudden, my eye catches the TV screen across the way, and this was when the Pins game used to be on TSN. And I swear to God, what episode was on? Jen Marshall bowling on the TV.
No.
So we got our drinks paid for, and we had dinner.
I love that. I've never heard that.
I love how that just worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
I love how she's like animating this.
No, and I mean, anyone who knows Jen, imagine Jen with this determination, kind of walking back and forth in front of the bar, like demonstrating her style. Right.
I can picture her doing it right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, then you could tell. I mean, there's so many Tracy stories of so much love over the year. I feel like I need to tell the hotel room key story. So, as anybody knows, when you're going down to the banquet at a bowling tournament, you kind of want to travel light. So it's kind of like, take your phone, take your room key. So one night, Jennifer Marshall, again, comes up to Tracy looking for her room key. Tracy then proceeds to take from her bra more things than most people have in an entire purse before finally finding the room key, right? It included a full-size BlackBerry in the early 2000s, which was probably like yay big. But the funny thing, like, you would have never known, and it was like the gum and this and the that. So that was always a good.
I really had a good packing
The
strategy.
packing situation.
But I
Really
mean, people have heard me say before. I mean, love of a game for me is like 8 years old, sitting on the floor with the old floor model TV, watching the Pins game, watching, Karen Armstrong, Sandy Anderson, and Chris Monchak, right? That to me was when I fell in love. I think watching that, because it was sort of, all the stars of the game sort of in the one place at the one time, right? And to be able to grow up and to know them all as friends and bowl against them and stuff like that, like, that's kind of journey as long, if there ever was, right?
100%. Good
love that.
stories.
Hmm.
I'm
We
glad
could
you
do a
didn't
whole
share the
episode
other
just on
story.
Melissa
of
Matter
me.
stories.
We could
Yeah,
have a few stories.
Yeah.
I tell a few stories. The ones that are suitable for podcasts, anyway.
right. We don't want to teach our kids anything bad.
Never, not like
Or
kicking
the
balls or
PG.
anything like that.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Fair. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, even though it's cold and late and you're not feeling great. But
What time
we
is it there in
appreciate it.
Newfoundland right now? 8, 9?
11:44.
It's almost midnight for you girls.
It is indeed.
And they're both sick.
I would have tapped
No.
out. I would have
Yeah,
tapped
no
out of the
kidding.
podcast.
No.
Oh no, I've just been muting the whole time, so no one had to hear me sniffle the whole time.
You're doing great.
Megan can blame me because I got her sick the other day at my house, so she can blame me for that.
It
Fair.
happens.
sick
It's
first.
spreading.
It is.
Yeah, it's that time of year. Well,
Me, for the love of the game, I love you so much that we can even share germs. Share bowling.
Oh my
Fair.
goodness. You know what? I love you all. Incredible podcast tonight, Melissa. Always a pleasure to have you on. We could have
Always
probably
enjoy.
had another 30 people on this podcast, but it gives us lots of ammunition for future podcasts. But
we'll have
super
to bring
special
some more
night.
on next. Yep. Amazing. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out all night. If you're heading out to Manitoba for the Manitoba Open, good luck. Travel safe. Hopefully your flights get there. I know Newfoundland is like on the verge of canceling flights. I heard that Greg
they were canceling them yesterday for like 2 days. I think when all is
Mhm.
said and done, there's parts of Newfoundland that are going to have probably like 80 centimeters again.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
heard
had 60 centimeters already, so
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
got 20, some odd more coming. So
I heard Greg had to fly out a day early because it was like bad weather in Ontario. There's just kind of things all over the place. So hopefully everybody gets there safe and is able to make it for their ships. And
Random side note out of Winnipeg tonight. I don't think you guys mentioned it, or maybe you don't know. Tyson Nelson threw a perfect game tonight.
we
Sure.
did actually.
we did mention that before we pressed record and go live.
Oh,
So
that is
we
true.
talked about it
We did.
all off camera. We did not acknowledge it on camera.
Congratulations to Tyson Nelson on his perfect game.
Oh, it's the best kind of game.
That is. I'm just taking
It's
a
the
look.
best
Okay.
kind of game.
It's the best kind of game. Well, I hope everyone has a fantastic month, and we will see everyone soon. Trying to see. Okay, so here's my technical
something.
difficulties. I don't know if I have an outro video. We might just have to play the boys' intro video, and that will be our outro.
That's okay. That's also very cool.
Okay, have a great month, everyone, and we will see you guys soon.
Good night, everyone.
Take care, everyone.